we're back on 843 TV at Osprey Village on Main on Thrift, and joining us now is Channing Heiss, the Director of Communication. Channing, share a little bit about your background and your role here.
Well, I've been a disability awareness advocate in one capacity or another, volunteer professionally, semi-professionally for over 30 years in one direction or another. And it was interesting because I learned about Osprey Village through a friend that I was doing something with in the community. And so I ended up on the board, long story short. And then I ended up on the administrative team a little later on after that. And we were at a point where we needed somebody to kind of coordinate our message to the community, because let's face it, you know, this is where communities come to speak. And so it's important that you do that in an effective way that gets people to understand, you know, what are you all about? And so I stepped into that role, and here I am.
Well, it's nice to see you again.
Nice to see you guys again.
So tell us a little bit about what's going on. There's a topic we want to talk about where people thinking where the funding is going. Off camera, we're having this conversation. So let's talk to everybody about it. Give them the idea, let's take the confusion away. Right. When the funding comes to you, what happens?
Well, for example, if you attend one of our fundraisers, you know, our golf tournament, our Pro Bowl Open up in January, the Sunset Cruise that we have in May, you're basically contributing to operational dollars. You're keeping the lights on. you're paying us. You're paying the staff. You're taking care of the logistics that you need to run essentially a business. This is a nonprofit, but you know, we have financial needs there. That's what you're funding with that. Then, of course, there's also the dollars that we need for the development that we're working on up in Hardyville. It was a part of the East Argent project. That's going to take considerably more. We love the $20s and the $50s that we get from people we've had great responses with the donor letter. We are looking for, though, leaders and visionaries who understand the potential huge long-term impact of this and who are willing to step up and write us the big check. That's what we're looking for in our capital campaign for the village. That's going to take some big bucks, but it's worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. How are you going about finding those donors, quite frankly?
Well, as I said, and I keep going back to this same thing, we need people who have a sense of vision, who have a sense of really justice, because we're not talking about giving people rights. We're talking about respecting rights that people already have. These people were born with these rights to freedom, choice, opportunity, growth. These people want the same thing that any other adult would want, and they have a right to that. We're not talking about somebody doing a favor. We're saying, how much would you pay to give somebody the same rights that you get to take for granted every day? What's that worth to you on a check? And that's why we want you to send us that. You know, takes a lot of vision, takes a lot of belief. There's going to be, you know, detours. There's going to be things that we may not get right the first time, but that doesn't matter, because if we really see it as a priority, you know, and we have the determination that we had, for example, in the space program. That took a lot of vision and determination. We celebrated the 50th anniversary over the summer. That took vision and leadership, and it took a lot of money, but we did it.
And perseverance.
Yeah. We did it. You know, a lot of rockets blew up on the launch pad, but we eventually got it right. And that's how people have to think. This is long term. This is vision. This is something that's going to affect people for the, you know, a kid who's going to be born 50 years from now.
You know, and that's I'm so glad you shared that with us, because it's very important for everybody to understand. Even earlier when I was speaking with David, this is a footprint. You know, this is a new idea. Well, it's an idea that it's needed, but it's being newly executed. Right. But with the challenges of being the first one out of the chute, we have fundings. We have to educate people about what we're looking for, how we can go about it. But once you put this footprint together, this can then be taken elsewhere in the country. So we got to help the first guy out of the chute, and that's what you guys are.
We love the fact that our model can be easily replicated in other areas, and that's what we hope happens.
Yeah.
I love getting calls from people who want to do this in their area. It's very exciting, and I get those calls all the time. It's increasing. And it's just wonderful, because people want to take the core of this, maybe add their own spin to it, and put it in their neighborhood. We could have these all over the country, maybe even all over the world someday.
So let me ask you about our neighborhood. How many, what's our population for, you know, the disabilities, with people with disabilities who want to come and be part of this program? What's our numbers?
Well, you know, that's so hard to quantify, because It's kind of, and this is part of the tragedy of it, it's a hidden population.
Yes.
It's a hidden need. It's very hard to come up with numbers. It's hundreds just in Beaufort County alone, to say nothing of what it is in the state. And we want to have a situation where people aren't having to travel 400, 500, 600 miles to get a bed. We want to see it more as a lifestyle. I keep going back to the word lifestyle. That's what we're trying to create, a lifestyle of which the actual physical village is a part and an integral part. We're trying to create a 360-degree lifestyle where people have great housing, safe housing, opportunities for jobs, social opportunities, recreation, all kinds of those great things. Independence, self-determination, choices, everybody wants those. And that's the lifestyle we're trying to create.
Wow. Well, before I'd love to talk more about that, but we have one more thing we want to talk about. There is a big fundraiser coming up.
Absolutely.
And we want to talk to everybody because we love golf tournaments here. And I think this is one way we can give back because it's going to be at Oldfield, right?
Right, yes.
So tell us how we can participate in that.
Yes, there's one thing we love around here, it's our golf. Yes,
sure.
It's coming up on October 27th.
Okay.
It's going to be, as you said, up at Oldfield Club. And it's our third annual. We're getting really good at this. It's a very popular event. We get a lot of teams and wonderful things. The registration starts at noon. Shotgun start is at 1 o'clock. So we're hoping people come up there. It's $150 per golfer. You can do a whole sponsorship. Businesses out there, you can still do a whole sponsorship for $200. So we hope that you'll participate in that you can call my desk or you can call Julie Coons at a number that you're going to probably have on the screen.
Be up on the screen.
So get in touch with either one of those if you want to do some sponsorship. There are other sponsorships available as well. So come on out. It's always a great event. You know, we have great food.
Yeah.
Oldfield is a fantastic facility who's been nothing but nice to us since this all started.
Well, I'm excited. Thank you for sharing. Our time has run out. I can't believe it. When we get back, when we come back together, we'll talk some more.
Excellent.
But I want to thank you for joining us. And this is 843 TV,
where communities come to speak.